What's up, guys? It's Julian. Today I'm going to be talking to you about 4 things you can do right this instant today to instantly take your tracks to the next level. If you've been struggling, or maybe you're just almost there but you're not quite there, maybe you're not even near there yet. Wherever you are, I promise if you watch this video, stick around till the end and do all of these things, you will today get out of wherever you are stuck. So, before this video starts, I want to let you guys know you can go to my website at the top of the description, electronicsamples.com. It has the best samples, templates, presets, MIDI, project files, all of that for literally every style of electronic music. I've put so much work into this website, into just building the best possible products for you guys to instantly today take your tracks to the next level. So, if you've been struggling, chances are the answer to all your problems is right there on that website. Go click it, grab something. Everything is very affordable. If I've helped you with these YouTube videos, if you've learned something from me, definitely go grab something there. It really helps support me. But it's not just about supporting me. It's about supporting yourselves. It's about creating something that you guys can, like I said, right now, go grab and you will instantly make your tracks better. So, link is at the top of the description. Thank you so much for the support, guys. And let's dive in. So the first thing that you can do right now, today, instantly, to take your tracks to the next level and stop getting stuck, is using better sounds. Now, what do I mean by this? I think there is a largely over-publicized myth about there's plugins that you can buy, there's magical processing, there's, chains of 10 different effects that you can use, where essentially the idea is that you can take any sound and make it good. And if your track doesn't sound professional or it doesn't sound good, it's not because you aren't using good samples. It's essentially because, it's because you just didn't put 3 more plugins on your kick or something like that, right? This is this myth that is just being spewed across the internet. Again, yes, we live in the information age. Is it always a good thing? Is the information always the right information? I don't know. But this is what people are spreading. And it's just false, dude. I know because I spent so long doing that. Literally before I had this channel, I spent years in hell of that mindset, if that makes any sense, just living in that, and and you'll drive yourself crazy with that, because you're going to have terrible samples, and you're going to not really be looking for the right thing, so you're going to always be trying to fix it, and you're going to dude, you just could drive yourself crazy doing that. And I promise you, if you just had, a good kick sample, or you tried to get a better kick sample, or layer together a better kick or something, all that, stuff. Because it's dude, you could either put, 5 saturators on, a bad kick. And then, yes, it is going to hit. And yes, it is going to kind of get there. But it's going to be super messy. Or you could just take one really good kick. And that doesn't have all that over-processing. And it'll just be infinitely better. And again, there's this... I don't really blame people. Because I don't think there's a lot of people out there saying it. And that's a big mission that I'm on. Is trying to break this. But dude, it's such a myth. And you're you're literally just gonna drive yourself crazy doing that. And I know, because I did it. It's like this presumption, or this idea that okay, the reason why my kick is not good is not because I'm using crappy samples. It's not because I'm not it's not because I'm over processing. It's literally just if I just go through the internet and there's some article that has some kick saturation method that I don't know, and if I just knew that, no, bro, no, you're fighting an uphill battle. Literally what you need to do is get better kicks, better sounds. I'd recommend starting with the main stuff, try to get, a few really, really good kicks that you like, that you can pick from, and all that. And when I say really good, I don't just mean this is kind of okay. I mean, study the tracks you're trying to make. Let's say you're trying to make Afterlife type stuff. Well, their kicks have a lot of click to them, right? It's almost like an 808 kick, but the bass is the best 808 kick in your life that you've ever heard in your life, and it's short, but it's not too short, that kind of stuff. Study that. Study, essentially, when you're looking for better sounds, that's kind of an ambiguous term, right? What I mean by better sounds is okay, right now you might be using a kick that doesn't really have that much tail to it, or it doesn't really have the click, and it's it's not there's some universal better. It's just more suited for what you're doing, if you're trying to make, like I said, a melodic techno track, using a 909 kick, you can try to process that all day, but it's still not going to sound as good as like the kicks like those people use. And you guys know what I'm talking about. You hear those tracks. So like, I think that's really, really important. And again, it's not just like this ambiguous like, oh, like better, like a universal thing that we can all agree on. It's just like better in terms of like fits more the parameters of what you're trying to make essentially. So you got to get good at understanding what those parameters are. That's really the key to getting those better sounds. And then also just finding them at the right places, whether it be from electronicsamples.com. You know, keep in mind also like I'm telling you guys all this stuff. These are the products designed with this in mind. Like you guys are buying, like if you're buying these other sample packs, like they're making that from like the perspective that I'm telling you guys to get out of here. I'm making you guys these samples specifically for all of this stuff that I'm spewing on this channel, all this new stuff that I'm trying to like push to you guys. Like these are designed with all of this in mind. So like it's literally like the toolkit. I'm telling you, like I'm trying to make this. It's not just for me to have a website. It's so that you guys can really get what you need to make better tracks. That is my entire mission here. So the next thing here is don't be afraid to use presets. And this is another one that it's like, oh, using presets is so bad. I don't think you guys care as much. I mean, I don't really care. I use presets. I'm going to say it right now. But what I'll also say, though, is it's like, it's not, because it's not some big statement on, like, if you're a good producer or not. It's not. It's literally just, like, a starting point. Like, that's what people don't realize is, like, a preset, like, 90% of the time, like, you end up changing it, like, at some point in the process. Like, you're never just gonna like open up a preset and just like never, like let's say you open up like a serum preset, right? Like you're never just gonna be like, oh, okay, let's just find a good bass. And then once we have that, I'm not even gonna touch that serum anymore. It's like, of course, like at some point in the process of making a track to getting it to like all the little things you have to do to get it to the finished product, you're gonna end up tweaking it. Like you're going to end up tweaking it. Like, and if you do actually just like open it up and just like don't touch it after and it just is that and there's no automation, cool. I still don't really think that's that bad. But like at the end of the day, like a preset is just a starting point, right? Like if you want a trancy lead, like yeah, you could start with an initial patch and dial in the unison and pick a saw wave and set the envelopes. Or it's like you could get a trance preset pack and open up one of those and go, oh, this is like kind of like what I want. And it's already like in that form. Now let me just tweak it. So I think that's something. Don't be afraid to use presets. And I think that it's really just a starting point. You know, everybody wants to say it's like this big statement on if you're a good producer or not. But again, it's just a starting point. And if it's not, if you just use the preset how it is, cool. You still had to do something unique with it. You know, you still had to like put some kind of work in. Like, it's like, you don't just like buy like a preset pack and then it's like, oh, well, I don't have to do any work now. I'm going to be famous. I'm going to be super successful. It's like, you still have to work super hard, bro. Like, you still have to put so much effort in just to do that. So, like, it's never just that. It's never just that. And then the last thing that I would say here, I think is really important, is don't be afraid to use templates. Now, this is templates like the ones I have on Electronic Samples, like, you know, something that's ready to go for a certain style, or a template could be like, you know, something I've done a lot is if I had a track that did well, I'll take that project file and then just switch out the different elements. Like, go, okay, so this is like a rumble kick here. All right, let me make a new rumble kick and put it in exactly how this is arranged. Okay, this has a synth lead here. Well, let me make a new different synth lead and put it in the same places. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because essentially what you're doing is you have all this work that you put in. It's not lazy. It's just like you already invented the wheel, right? Like, why are you going to keep reinventing the wheel when it's like you could take that project that you made for a track that was successful and then now you're building on it even more. So now the second track that you make using that template will be even better because you have all that basic stuff like the arrangement and automation and stuff like that lined up to where now you can put more time into other elements. So like, I really don't think using a template is that bad. And sometimes even just having the template where it's like, you know, every time you open up Ableton, you've got like one serum and one operator or whatever you like to use. Even that, I just think like anything that you can do to get to that process of like having like a track that's not just like a blank slate, I think that's really the key. And I think we need to really put a lot of effort into making sure that people know there's something wrong with that. Because it's really like, I don't know, like, people that hate on all these things, like, I think they've never really done it, you know? I think, because if you actually made a track, you would realize, like, using a template or presets or samples is not cheating, because you still have to do so much work and so much time and so much effort in around that. So, pretty much all I want to say for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Like I said, check out electronicsamples.com. I've made a ton of products for you guys that are all ready to go with all this stuff in mind. This is like I'm trying to start the revolution here. Like, I'm trying to get these really, really good sounds out and just tell you guys how to use them, and not just sell you a toy to play with for a few days and then you realize it's not that good, but give you guys the tools that are going to take your music to the next level. So I hope you enjoyed. That was 4 things that you could do today to take your tracks to the next level. Thank you so much for the support, everybody. electronicsamples.com in the description. Forever.